Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever felt completely buried by the sheer volume of compliance paperwork in pharma, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're going to take some seriously complex source materials and transform them into a crystal clear chronological journey of mastering cleanroom qualification. We're going to break down the exact blueprints and workflows that take a facility from an empty shell all the way to a fully functioning audit-ready environment.
But first, we really have to establish the ultimate stakes of GMP compliance, which is implementing rigorous controls today to guarantee patient safety tomorrow. When we talk about clean rooms in pharma, you know we aren't just talking about keeping some dust out, right? We're talking about highly engineered ecosystems designed to literally eliminate microscopic risks. Every filter, every airflow cascade, and every single SOP is fundamentally built around this simple, powerful mantra. If we get the control right today, we protect the patient tomorrow.
Okay, here's a quick look at our roadmap. 1. GMP and regulatory frameworks. 2. Mastering cleanroom SOPs. 3. Installation and operation, or IQ and OQ. 4. Performance qualification, PQ. And 5. Pharma facility layouts. Let's dive in.
Starting off with Section 1, GMP and regulatory frameworks.
So what's really interesting here is how these massive, dense regulatory frameworks actually distill down into a surprisingly actionable matrix. For instance, the ISO 146440 series, that's your absolute go-to for cleanroom classification and testing. But say you need to understand sterile manufacturing control strategies, then you pivot straight to EU GMP Annex 1. Need microbiological control and water system standards? Boom, that's your USP chapters. And driving the entire underlying logic of your deviation and risk management is ICH Q9 and Q10. Having this mapped out like a cheat sheet really takes the guesswork out of your entire compliance strategy.
Moving right along to Section 2, Mastering Cleanroom SOPs.
Before we get into the detailed workflow, it's absolutely crucial to understand that every single SOP is driven by this strict, phase-gated, chronological life cycle. You can't just jump straight into testing. No way. You plan, you assess the risks, you verify the installation, you test the operation, you perform under routine conditions, and finally, you approve. This linear progression is the heartbeat of a solid GMP environment. Honestly, if you skip a phase, the whole system breaks down, and you risk invalidating entire production runs.
And this really brilliantly illustrates the human element of GMP. Notice how QA, validation, engineering, and production share highly specific ownership across these phases. Validation usually leads the qualification and testing coordination. Engineering, they're doing the heavy technical lifting to ensure system readiness. Production is crucial because they provide the operational conditions and the trained staff. And QA is the ultimate gatekeeper, approving the protocols, the deviations, and that final release for GMP use. It's kind of like a highly choreographed dance that captures exactly who does what across the entire life cycle.
Which brings us to Section 3, Installation and Operation, meaning IQ and OQ.
We can break the heavy lifting of IQ and OQ into these primary sequential steps. First up, we have to prove the room is built correctly. That's your IQ. We verify the installation against the approved drawings and record any discrepancies. Once we actually know it's built right, we have to prove it operates correctly. That's OQ. This involves rigorously testing the HEPA filter integrity, verifying the airflow velocities, and making sure all those differential pressure alarms actually go off when they're supposed to. So the real takeaway here is the meticulous handover between teams. During IQ, engineering is verifying the physical construction, checking the walls, ceilings, HVAC installations, and all those calibration certificates. But once we shift into OQ, validation basically takes the wheel. They're the ones executing the smoke studies to visualize airflow, running the particle classifications at rest, and generating the data that proves the empty room functions exactly as designed. It's a perfect baton pass from the builders to the testers.
Next up, Section 4, Performance Qualification, or PQ. The PQ phase introduces routine operating conditions, which, honestly, is where things get really challenging. We aren't just testing an empty room anymore. Now we're heavily relying on continuous environmental monitoring and process simulations with real people moving around inside the space. And remember, humans are literally the single biggest contamination risk in any clean room. Notice how the role focus entirely shifts during this phase. Production and QC microbiology take center stage. Production has to actually run the routine operations or process simulations.
Meanwhile, QC Micro is out there performing the viable environmental monitoring, setting up active air sampling, settle plates, and surface monitoring. Validation coordinates the data, and QA steps in at the very end to review any deviations and make that massive final decision, the QA release recommendation. PQ is all about demonstrating consistent performance when the pressure is actually on. And finally, Section 5, Pharma Facility Layouts. Let's look at the real-world application. This macro view maps out an entire facility, and I want you to notice the careful geographical zoning here. You have your sterile injectables, your grade A, B environments, completely separated from the non-sterile solid dosage areas. The facility is deliberately designed so that materials, personnel, and utilities flow logically without ever cross-contaminating. You've got distinct zones for warehousing, QC labs, and engineering support, all physically segregated based on their GMP risk profiles. It's honestly like a well-planned mini-city. Zooming into a standard GMP non-sterile layout, you can clearly trace the unidirectional flows. You can see how personnel flow involves entering through specific gowning change rooms and exiting through dedicated return airlocks. And you can see how raw materials enter, move sequentially through granulation, blending, compression, and coating before finally exiting as finished goods. The physical walls and airlocks literally enforce the SOPs. In sharp contrast, a sterile, injectable layout demands much tighter control. Just think about the complexity of the pressure cascades required here. To protect that critical grade A aseptic filling core in the very center, the facility utilizes strict grading, moving personnel and materials from grade D to C to B and finally into A. Every single step inward requires higher pressure, tighter gowning, and stricter HVAC HEPA filtration. This blueprint is the absolute physical embodiment of control today, protect tomorrow. As we wrap up this explainer on pharmaceutical qualification, I want to leave you with a vital question. Take a hard look at your own operations. Are your IQ, OQ, and PQ handovers this clearly defined? Do your facility blueprints actively support your daily GMP workflows? Evaluating your own cleanroom compliance journey against these master layouts is for sure the best way to ensure you're truly audit ready. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep striving for that perfect control.